Hello, the internet, it's Ghost here, and welcome to episode 64 of I Have No Idea What I Built, because I built this a couple of weeks ago and I completely forgot everything I did. But looking at the timeline, I was watching Wheel of Time Season 1 when I was doing this, so that doesn't narrow it down much, but I think this is building a set of church ruins in that space that I had absolutely no idea what to do with, and desperately needed to fill it in because I was getting annoyed looking at it and just wanted something easy to do. So we're starting by trying to lay out the shape that I think it would have been in, so that then I know how to kind of destroy it. I can't remember what inspired the shape of this. It might have been something in Wheel of Time, but I don't really know. I just vividly recall the fact I was watching it. I think I was watching episode 7 of season 1. I don't really know at this point. But yeah, I started off by laying the foundations of the building and then started to throw in little bits of texture every so often, because why do things in a nice, orderly fashion when you can kind of just throw the different blocks and bits in and hope for the best? So this is what we're doing. I tried building a tower thing, then decided the tower was too big, having terraformed a load of the ground, and then had to completely destroy it and redo a section of it. Only to obviously destroy it for proper so that it looked destroyed, like the rest of the build. So that was a bit of a mess up, but this is the point I looked at and went, it's way too big. It doesn't look proportionate to the rest of the thing, and it's not a complete structure, so I need it to just not look weird. Probably also why you don't just build flat cuboids out of cobblestone. I also tried to put in texture at this point with walls, because I figured, that'll make indents, that look kind of nice. Yeah, there was no plan. I didn't even have a reference photo for this. Oh, and then apparently I got rid of... Why did I get rid of that? That worked perfectly fine. I guess to put in an entrance, because I couldn't put it anywhere else. Added some more colour. Honestly, why I quite started by building out a cobblestone, I don't really know, and also why I couldn't just be bothered to texture as I went. Another thing that I don't really know why I didn't do that. I suppose it's one of those things of I'm not very good at it, in my opinion. Just kind of building and going for it. So we have to make a do. I then decided I wanted there to be a chunk of collapsed roof, and it made the most sense to use pale oak as my log that it's gonna have fallen onto. And then started building it in. I also tried to texture it up, and I wanted it to still be in the grey colour palette, hence we also used the pale oak, and then added in different bits of deep slate to try and switch things up. What else did I do? I added in all the pathways to try and connect everything up. Kept falling down a hole because I covered up a little cave section here, because I have lots and lots of big caves that I don't particularly want to be there. And then I added in... why am I yawning? I added in a little campfire. And then started looking at various plant things, because, as always, we need lots and lots of plants in this so that it looks overgrown and a bit abandoned. I picked out various root-based things and lots of different plants, all kind of just green stuff, to try and build up rather than starting with flowers, because the idea was to try and hide sections and break up the blocks of grey. This also helped finish off this area quite nicely in the end, and I now have to work out walls for the upper sections of this bit of city. I don't know whether we're going to build more up there. I've moved to another area now, and I'm starting to actually like where this area of the build's going. It's all a bit chaotic because I kind of switched up how I was building things as I went and didn't really know what I was doing to start with. So yeah, there is very much no formulated plan, so I have no idea what I'm doing at this point. I kept going in and adding little bits of ferns and firefly bushes, and I just covered my mouth with my blanket. That was a dumb idea. Just trying to switch up and break everything up, as I've said before, and also making sure there wasn't too much of one type of thing consecutively, and also making sure to switch in the bushes with things, because that's a slightly different shade of green. I then went in and picked out just some brick, because I wanted to build a couple of gravestones, because I figured if this was formerly a church or something, there would probably be a cemetery out the back. And then I also added some plants just growing in the area, trying to think of things that maybe the people who live in the houses that back onto this have kind of just formed an allotment. I then had to go down the hole to make an area to put water in, of course, filling it in with the mangrove roots, because then that makes it look less obnoxiously blue. Did that a couple of times till I filled the area, trying to give it a not so uniform shape. And then at some point we're going to build a wall. And we need the wall so that it sections off this area and meets with the other wall. Otherwise it looked a bit weird. That there was just like loads of mud backed up against the wall, and I am yawning so much. I didn't want to do loads of terraforming to move on to a different section, so this was the genuinely easiest solution that I could come up with. I had to minimally terraform just to get it to be that the dirt's below the height of the wall, and then put in different textured bits of the same stone bricks, but obviously switch it up with mossy and cracked to try and liven the build up, I guess would be the word. And then adding in some stone wall stuff that I don't know what I'm doing. I just kept placing blocks until it looked half decent. Apparently didn't think to add any trees in, but I did add a composter. I think this area could have done with the tree in hindsight, but it would probably have to be a custom built tree, and let's be honest, I don't like building custom trees. Building custom trees is really quite boring and confusing. I don't understand how people do it. I just get lost within about 5 minutes of trying to put a trunk in, and then the leaves I really don't understand. I guess I could have built a dead tree, but I don't really want a dead tree here. That just would look a bit out of place as well. Went in adding in some glow lichen, just when it's dark, get a little bit of colour variation going. Well, light variation that creates colour variation, I guess. And then apparently I stared at the inventory, then came out of it, looked around, picked out some other stuff. More grass apparently, because I needed more grass in this area, and basically deemed it done. Did I add any nether sprouts to this? Did I seriously not add like the little nether sprout thingies? That is disappointing. I proceeded to run in a circle to make sure I was happy with it, because that's how we assessed that. Discovered that I'd messed up some of the corners of that other build and declared myself done. So goodbye the internet. I will see you all theoretically again on Wednesday.